some of our own business partners and faculty members. It's a very, very huge pleasure for me to introduce the IIM Rohtak team, specifically for their IPM and IPL programs that IIM Rohtak, being the pioneer, has launched for the very first time in this country. I have with me 4 dignitaries, including the IIM Rohtak director, Professor Dheeraj Sharma. I do not know how many of you have an idea. Professor Dheeraj Sharma is not only just the director of IIM Rohtak, he's also a professor at IIM Ahmedabad. He has taught, presented research papers, not just in India, but across North America, Europe, and Asia. In fact, I have had the privilege of speaking to him last year too, and I really welcome him to this particular session. We have with us 3 deans who are going to talk about the IPM program, the Integrated Program in Management of IIM Rohtak, as well as the Integrated Program of Law, which is for the very first time in the history of the IIMs, IIM Rohtak has launched. We have with us Professor Kaustubh Ghosh, who is also the Dean of Research and Executive Education. He's also the Associate Professor in the area of Human Resource Management. We also have Dr. Ashwini Kumar, Assistant Professor in the area of Operations Management and the Co-Chairperson of IPL program at IIM Rohtak, along with Dr. Rima Mondal. Dr. Rima is also a faculty in Economics and Public Research, and she is also the chair or the co-chairperson of the IPL program. I'm going to give you a very brief idea about how this session is going to happen. We will have Dr. Kaustubh Ghosh giving a brief idea about the UG programs that they have at IIM Rohtak. Then I will invite Professor Dheeraj Sharma to give a perspective of why is it that IIM Rohtak has been in the forefront of all kinds of innovations, taking new programs to the entire country as such, especially UG people. And then we will have Dr. Ashwini Kumar and Dr. Rima Mondal speaking about the integrated program in law. So we have today not only 100-odd students in the Zoom session, but about hundreds of students on the YouTube listening to us live on this session. So may I welcome the team from IIM Rohtak, Professor Kaustubh Ghosh. If you can hear me, hi, and my name is ARKSS. I am the president of Career Launcher, and I take care of the entire test preparation area for MBA, Law, and IPM for Career Launcher as of now. Professor Kaustubh Ghosh.
Okay. Very good morning to all of you, and we express our thanks for providing us this opportunity to represent our institution and our academic programs to the larger students community. IIM Rohtak is nationally ranked number 8 in the country, and we have a fair mix of postgraduate program, then integrated programs and executive education programs. Our flagship program is MBA, which is 2 years full-time residential program. And followed by that, we have a doctoral program in management. And we have a couple of executive programs like executive postgraduate diploma in management, 1-year program. Then we have 2 years executive postgraduate diploma in sports management. And IIM Rohtak is the only IIM which offers this unique program in sports management. Along with that, we have a number of short and long duration executive programs. Coming specifically to integrated programs, in the year 2019, we started integrated program in management, IPM, that's 3 years BBA plus 2 years MBA. In fact, we are the first IIM who started this BBA plus MBA program in India, 5 years integrated program. Currently, the batches are running and the admission for the 3rd batch, the notification for admission to the 3rd batch is there. And we have around Every year we take around 180 to 200 students in that program. The first 3 years, students complete their coursework on BBA curriculum, taking across multiple disciplines like psychology, philosophy, sociology, data analytics, statistics, quantitative methods, creative writing. It's a very diverse curriculum and it's a very unique curriculum. We dealt a lot before putting this curriculum in place. Every year there is an internship program. There are different types of internship programs. Sometimes students go to field, they work for industry, sometimes they work for social sector, including NGOs, and even at times they work under the guidance of our internal faculty on different research projects. On successful completion of 3 years and attaining the minimum academic criteria, the students can be graduated to 2 years MBA program. However, there is an exit option as well. Students who are interested after completing the BBA, they can get with the BBA degree also. Coming to IPL, which is again, IIM Rohtak is the first IIM in the country which has taken this initiative to start 5 years integrated program in law. It is BBA plus LLB. We have observed through our close interaction with corporate sector, legal experts, as well as from market survey, that there is a dearth in the field of corporate lawyers who are specifically equipped to handle the legal cases which the corporates are facing on different fronts. And there we found a particular niche to come forward and fill up this void. And that's the main motivation or reason behind floating out this particular program, integrated program in law. We have already received the approval from the Bar Council of India, our curriculum, etc. We have all submitted, and all the details are already there. We will be taking through the CLAT score, followed by personal interviews. My colleagues will present in detail about the overview of the program, and we can then take up any questions, specific questions on these programs thereafter. So from my side, this is an overview of our academic programs, and we would like to have questions way forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh. What we will do is have Dr. Rima Mondal give a short presentation that you probably have, and post that we will have Professor Dheeraj Sharma giving again a entirety about IIM Rohtak itself, and then we'll take up the question and answers. Okay? Yeah. Dr. Rima Mondal.
Thank you so much. Good morning. We would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you the unique program of IPL that is being introduced by IIM Rohtak. So talking about a few facts about IIM Rohtak, as Sir has already mentioned, it is the 8th ranked public B school in India, and it is the first and the only IIM in the NCR region. We also have an alumni strength of 1200 plus. So this alumni strength also provides us an opportunity to have a base with the leading business houses. Talking about the when IIM Rohtak was established, so it was established in 2009. It got the national importance in 2017 when IIM Act was passed. We have a benchmark for top management education where we adopt case study methodology for as a method of, or it's a pedagogy that we adopt. And we have also great leadership where we have a visionary approach where we are moving forward with launching many programs and to deal with the business problems in the changing business environment. Last but not least, that IIM Rohtak is well connected to Delhi. So we also have a locational advantage where we can have an access to the leading business houses which are located in Delhi, Gurgaon, and this IPL program will be conducted from the Gurgaon campus. So where again we have this locational advantage. Okay, why the aspirant should take up this IPL program from IIM Rohtak? So as we have mentioned that IIM Rohtak is the first and the only IIM which has introduced this unique program of IPL. So the focus of IIMs is to impart business education for the students. The course structure has been designed in a manner where for the first 3 years, the students would be taking the courses in the field of business administration. They will be getting a BBA degree. And then for the next 2 years, they will be taking the courses in the domain of law. And they will be getting an LLB degree. So for the BBA degree, we expect the students to have a good foundation in the field of business education. Understanding of the business problem. So that's what the forte of IIM Rohtak is, where we would like to provide an in-depth understanding of many business problems. And we will do that with the help of the case study pedagogy that we adopt. And we also have access to many resources in order to provide our students this application-based case studies. So IIM Rohtak spends a good amount of fund in acquiring those resources. So we have resources from Harvard Business School, the Ivy League colleges, and we also have the base for the Emerald case studies, etc. With the help, and also our faculty is engaged in doing latest research so that the students are again very aware of the latest business problems. The course has been designed in a manner where we have also introduced some of the courses like data analytics in the first 3 years, where the students will be able to understand the latest tools and techniques to analyze the data and to get a grasp of the nuances of the business problem. Our focus is to develop the analytical skills in the students, not analytical skills. We will also help the students to gauge into communication skills. So for that, again, we have designed the course structure in a manner where in the first 3 years, we would focus on developing these communication skills so that the students can have a good convincing power, which is again a prerequisite for a lawyer. So that again the students when they will move forward to the fourth and fifth year, they have the basic knowledge of the analytical skills as well as the communication skills. We will also provide them consulting with the corporate houses and management internships again so that they can have a idea of how to deal with the problems in the field. Again, when they will move forward in the fourth and fifth year, they can deal with the legalities of corporate restrictions. They can deal with the new tax laws. They can understand what are the various arbitration problems that the businesses face. So the idea is they will get an in-depth knowledge of the business administration, and then they can apply it in the field of law. This is the overview of the various programs that are being offered in the IIM Rohtak. Our respective teams have already spoken about this program. If you have any queries regarding the programs, again, we can take up this in the Q&A session. Then we also provide many industry interactions. Now, the idea of industry interaction is to to provide a stage for the students where they can directly interact with the business leaders, how they solve the business problems and how they move forward with understanding the business problems. We have many clubs. So we have 13 committees and 11 clubs which are guided by the students themselves. So these students, they take up this club and they perform many activities, and again, they can have an experience of the management field and also they can enjoy the campus life. So this is so our main campus is at Rohtak, which is around 200 acres, and the extension campus is in Gurgaon. Again, as we have mentioned that we will have a locational advantage of the Gurgaon campus. Of the facilities of the auditorium that we have, the classrooms, how well we can interact with the students can interact with the faculty members. So regarding the curriculum that we have for the IPL program, again, as we mentioned, for the first 3 years, we will be taking up the BBA courses. And again, the course structure has been designed with keeping in view the BPI guidelines. So this forward in the first 3 years. One thing that I would like to push forward over here is that we have a trimester-based course structure. So the benefit of trimester-based course structure is that again the students can have a flavor of multiple business courses as well as law courses, which is again a forte of IIM Rohtak. So, and these are the courses that are being offered in the 4th and 5th year. So all this information is available in our prospectus on the website also. Again, if you have any specific queries regarding eligibility criteria and the selection criteria, etc., we can take up this in the Q&A. So this is about a brief overview of the IPL program and IIM Rohtak. We will head to in the program.
Thank you, Dr. Rima Mundal, on this. A very, very important one very brief question before I go to Professor Dheeraj Sharma. How many seats are there in the IPL program this year?
There are 190 seats plus 10% EWS seats.
So 180 plus about 18. And for the IPM program, the BBA MBA program?
180.
So both of them 180 kind of things. Excellent. So may I now request Professor Dheeraj Sharma to there are lots and lots of questions, by the way, just to give you a quick idea.
Professor Rima Mandal, we have 180 seats for IPM. We are going to have 210 seats for IPL.
Wonderful, wonderful. Professor Dheeraj Sharma, welcome to you, sir. Very, very happy to welcome you to this particular program. There are more than 270 students on the YouTube and 100 plus on Zoom today. I would like you to, address the entire gathering and, give IIM Rohtak's way forward for these wonderful new programs.
Let me share with you a little bit about IIM Rohtak's.
Sir, may I ask you to, if it's possible, to be on video, sir?
There is something actually. I am between two places, as a matter of fact, and I am joining this as we travel. So I think there is something going on with the video in between. I'll try if I can sort of. I'm trying it now. Can you see me?
Yeah. Now we can see you, sir.
Let me share a little bit about IIM Rohtak. IIM Rohtak started in 2000. The first batch came in 2010, actually. And IIM Rohtak, like all IIMs of that particular generation, took some time to carve out a niche for itself and become a institution that can offer management education of the highest quality. In the last several years, we have worked very hard. Number one, to complete our phase one of our, the Rohtak main campus, and we have enough facility there now to accommodate large number of students and also to offer a variety of programs. As a matter of fact, you'd be very happy to know, as of August 2021, IIM Rohtak probably will be the largest IIM of all the IIMs, comparable to IIM Indore in terms of size. So this is a view that we had taken, that we wanted to offer, ability to eligible students to get highest quality education in IIM system, because IIM system is a very strong system, very unique system, which allows students to engage in immersive learning, allows students to engage in interaction, allows students to have greater participation. It allows students to have all three forms of instruction, which is, instructional learning in the classroom, peer-to-peer learning, and also self-learning. In the last few years, we claim to be, and we are, I believe, arguably the most diverse campus. We have 70% women in our MBA program, and back to back for last 3 years, we've had more than 50% women. 1/3 of our faculty is women. 50% of our students are non-engineers, which is a rare amongst all the IIMs, because usually there's a very strong correlation between engineering and clearing CAT examination. We took a very important step by introducing IPM program, which is BBA MBA. We were the first ones, mind you. IIM Indore has a BA MBA program, and it's an integrated program. It did not offer at that point in time, I don't know about now, an opportunity for students to exit after having a baccalaureate degree. As a matter of fact, when the program was run, at that time, we did not have the powers to give degrees. Now, under the IIM Act, we are awarding degrees since 2018. So therefore, IIM Rohtak became the first IIM to offer BBA MBA program, and now we're the first ones to offer BBA LLB program. Now, a lot of thought goes into starting these programs. Why we started BBA LLB program is because we did comprehensive studies to understand that in today's environment, there is a great deal of need for people to be qualified in the domain of management plus have an understanding of law. So we hope to put in place lawyers who have deep understanding of management. This has been recognized by the Government of India because Government of India has started now separate commercial codes. Commercial codes are separate now. There are many states which have separate commercial codes to recognize the importance of how management has become integral and entwined with the legal fraternity. Taking a cue from that and also having studied many PSUs, as a matter of fact, if you were to conduct an in-depth study, you would find nearly 2 or 3 lakh crores worth of arbitration in the top 10 PSUs of our country. And I'm talking lakhs of crores of arbitration. So this all gives us an opportunity to contribute and gives us an opportunity to produce some professionals who have very astute and deep understanding of management and are also very sharp lawyers. So BBA LLB program, the IPL program, allows students to do just that. Now, I was scrolling through some of the questions, the queries which are the typical queries is that are IPM courses going to be same as IPL? No, IPL is a different program, different courses. Maybe there'll be some courses, 1 or 2 courses, a few courses, I don't know, I can't say the number, but there'll be some courses which are management domain where, you know, there'll be a different section, absolutely different section. They would not be in the same section with the IPM students, there'll be a different section. So IPM courses are going to be separate. IPL courses are going to be separate. There are a lot of questions which are being asked on how expensive this course is. The fee was also discussed at great length in our academic council, and they looked at several peer institutions and tried to come up with an appropriate number, taking into account the net present value of what is going to happen 5 years from now. So, you know, all factors were considered and that was done. And next, some questions are around placements. Now, I must tell you, IIM Rohtak is not a placement agency. We don't do any placements for even our MBA students. We don't do any placements for our IPL program. We don't do any placements for our DPM program. It's the students who do it. Students have a placement committee. Students work very hard. They're guided by some faculty members. We facilitate, you know, those companies coming to India. We allow for the collected resources from students to be utilized in bringing people for guest lectures, for interactions, for management development programs, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the student placement committees are primarily the ones who deal with the placement issues. So IIM Rohtak, I repeat, is an educational institution. It's not a placement agency. Finally, I am also looking at some of the questions which are on the preparation and the entrance examinations and so forth. And also somebody has just asked a question on how much importance and planning you put into charting out the courses without having any hiccups. Now, I don't know. See, did we imagine that the world would have a hiccup like COVID last year? You can only plan as much as you can. And it was our ability, our robustness that allowed IIM Rohtak to be the only IIM amongst all the IIMs to start its courses on time. The MBA program started on time. We took the lead in starting of online classes when many of our peer institutions were still thinking whether to have physical or online. We had the foresight and we got inputs from a variety of sources to understand and plan accordingly. People have opportunities to only plan on the basis of the available data and on the basis of some reasonable degree of inferences that they can draw from the environment. So we worked very hard to plan for this. Students are again asking some questions on scholarships and so on and so forth. I'd like to respond to that also. At the present time, there are no scholarships, but students, most of the students who are admitted at IIM Rohtak avail loan facilities. As a matter of fact, I would not be wrong, and I think Rima and Ashwini and Professor Ghosh can answer this question. I believe more than 80% of our students take loans. And in the flagship MBA program, the average salary which they are able to draw vis-a-vis their own efforts, they are able to recover their investment in the fee component in about less than 18 months. So 18 to 24 months. So I would imagine that this being the first program, students must plan accordingly. There is always an opportunity for people to avail the loan facilities as are available with most of the banks. The institution also, provides certain connection with certain banks like State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, UCO Bank, Yes Bank, ICICI, and try to connect the students with them so that they can take advantage of the loans. Now, as far as the question of the quality of education, I must ascertain and I must tell you that we have one of the best campuses coming up in Gurgaon. We've got land in the heart of Gurgaon in Sector 43, which is right next to DLF Golf Course, if people know Gurgaon very well. We'll be building our campus there in next couple of years. But in the meantime, we're renting a campus, which is also just 5 minutes from the Ambience Mall, which is again in the heart of the Gurgaon city. That campus will allow students to have good interactional ability, will be centrally located, will be large enough for students to have continued interactions with each other. I don't know, but how the things are going to pan out. Again, one of the important things is that given the COVID situation, who knows? We may even end up having one term online again. I don't know. Rising cases, government instructions, we await government instructions. And we are required to follow government instructions. We will follow them. And therefore, planning for courses is done very well, barring anything unforeseen. You will have some of the finest faculty that you can imagine. We are able to leverage on our locational advantage and our flexible budget. We have already budgeted significant amount of resources to get some of the top faculty from across the world, from the NCR and from within the country to deliver this program. We have several legal experts. We have several management experts from across the world who have already been shortlisted to deliver some of the courses in this program. I must tell you, I think it would be an exciting thing just to participate, and being in Gurgaon will allow us to leverage our interaction with the industry, with the government, and with the academe from all over. The entire country throngs to Delhi region to get education. I'm sure many of you would know that 2.5–3 lakh people apply to just the universities in the Delhi region, which probably have 50–60,000 seats. There's tremendous opportunity for people who throng to Delhi region, and we are really glad that we have an opportunity to serve this population. IIMs are autonomous institutions. We are required to run the institutions based on the funds we raise. So therefore, we raise our own funds. We run these revenue generating programs so that we can run the institutions. We do not take at the present time any operating expenses from Government of India. As a matter of fact, we have not taken any operating funds from the Government of India for last nearly 3+ years now. So institutions must work very hard to create an environment, and that can only be done by getting the right quality of people. Great institutions are faculty-led, administratively supported, and IT-enabled. We work on those principles, and we'll continue to work very, very hard to deliver possibly the highest quality of education that we can fathom and that we have the ability to deliver. I'm grateful to you to listening to me and my colleagues, Professor Kaustubh Ghosh, who is the Dean of the institution, and the two chairpersons for this, who are the program chairs. They're the ones primarily responsible for running this program for next couple of years, is Professor Rima Mandal and Professor Ashwini Kumar. I hope that they can answer the remaining queries. And I'm so grateful to all of you for listening to me. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Professor Sharma. But can I ask you one question before you, leave this place? Because as far as the IPL is concerned, you are taking the CLAT exam itself. Why is it that for the IPM, the 5 IIMs now together are coming together? Why is that not a single IPMAT exam being conducted? Each one of them is conducting a separate one. Do you have any view on that?
I am only aware that IIM Indore is the one which conducts the BA MBA program. It's not a BBA MBA program. It's a BA MBA.
No, the rest of the 4 now, Ranchi, Ranchi, Jammu, and Bodh Gaya, all 3 of them are doing the BBA MBA programs.
Are they starting this year?
Yes, they are starting this year. All 3 of them.
I don't know. See, you see that again, if they are starting this year, I think opportunities for coming up with something of this nature, to come up with something combined, probably should ensue in the forthcoming years. But at the present time, I don't know if they have recently come up with this idea of coming up with this course. I wish them the very best, and we'd have to look into whether they also have a BBA MBA, or they have diploma courses, or whether they have an exit option. There's so many things which one has to look into, but I'm sure, I think, why not? I'm all for it, as a matter of fact.
In fact, what I expect is that probably IIM Rohtak will take the cue, so that the students have to write only 1 exam. This year they have to write 4 exams. IIM
Rohtak definitely takes the cue, but all IIMs are autonomous individual institutions, and it is for them to also cooperate. Now, additionally, I must also tell you that sometimes there is an advantage of taking 4 exams versus 1. Because it gives you 4 opportunities to succeed. As a matter of fact, I have been a long proponent for the CAT examination to form a CAT corporation, and the CAT examination to be held multiple times a year, and the institutions can then possibly consider taking average scores, or taking the best of the 4 scores of the year, or the best score of the last 2 attempts. They'll have to decide. And I'm also, a strong proponent of allowing students to take these examinations in different languages. I support all of that, and I'm really happy. If I am given an opportunity, I'd be happy to do it, but I don't have that opportunity. The CAT examination is conducted by, this year, I think IIM Kozhikode is conducting the CAT examination. And so I don't have that opportunity. And similarly, even for the IPM, I would imagine that if at some point in time the IIMs come together, I would be very happy to offer students opportunity to take the exam multiple times in a year, and then possibly take the best score out of the 2 times or 3 times that they take it in a year. It's an opportunity for the students. So I think at the present time, what you're telling me, if other IIMs have come up with this course, then it's a good thing for students. Take the exam again and again. Maybe you'll get to the best institution, I think. And I'll tell you, all IIMs are really good. All of them. A, B, C, L, I, K. Then, Rohtak, Shillong, Ranchi, Raipur, Kashipur, Trichy, Udaipur. Then the newer ones. There are 5, 6 new ones which have come. Amritsar, Sirmaur, Vizag, Nagpur. These are new Sirmod, they have all come up, and I am telling you, there are the newer ones, particularly the ones which are only about 5 years old, are working very hard to continue to deliver the high quality of education that the older IIMs led us to. And at least the second generation ones are already there. So I must tell you that students, please take it very well that you have 4 opportunities or 5 opportunities to get into some of the best institutions in the country and be part of the IIM fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So one question I'm tempted to ask you, because it's an IPL program you're starting. We have NLUs, top NLUs like the NLSIU, NALSAR, NLU Delhi, of course, NUJS in Kolkata. How would you, because a lot of students are asking me this question on my private chat too, how should they look at your IPL program vis-a-vis the NLUs, the top 5, top 10 NLUs across the country?
I think ours is a specialized program. Our students will have an advantage of very deep understanding of management. Today, large proportion, if you study globally, large proportion of law, I would say in terms of value, and when I'm saying value, I'm talking about commercial value, in terms of economic value.
Right.
Large proportion of lawyers and legal system from economic value standpoint looks at issues on contracts, arbitration, intellectual property, conflict management, in terms of international law. This is the chunk, which I believe is still requiring astute professionals. And I believe our program is attempting to provide professionals who can probably fill that void, if I may call it a void, if I may call it a dearth. I mean, it is shortage of professionals in that domain. I believe that there is an opportunity, a big opportunity, for individuals who have understanding of contracts, understanding of intellectual property, international law, understanding of arbitration, understanding of calculation of financial management conflicts, financial crimes, cyber crimes, cyber law. I mean, this is a humongous field, and I think it's got very, very few individuals who can possibly at the present time who can possibly deliver. So it's an opportunity. We hope our students will take advantage of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Sharma. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I will continue with the other 3 professors, and very, very happy that you could take time and join us for this very, very special session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sharma. Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Mandal, and Dr. Ashwini Kumar, I'm going to speak to you. There are a lot of questions coming up on both on the YouTube side as well as on the Zoom. Probably I'm going to ask you one by one these questions, Professor Kaustubh Ghosh. One of them, in fact, this is for Dr. Rima Mondal. They're asking if when they are trying to fill out the IPL form, they say that the column for filling in the CLAT 21, should it be left blank? Because obviously the exam is going to happen in June.
Yes, so for the time being, it should be left blank. It will be again accessible to the students after the CLAT scores are out. So they can access it again as well.
Right. So one question, obviously, whether you can answer or not, I do not know. But there is one question that everybody asks: what kind of a rank? Because if you look at the top 3 NLUs, you need to get into the top 150, 200 ranks in the CLAT exam. Do you envisage any number, any rank where IPL students, people getting into IPL in IIM Rohtak will require that rank? What kind of a rank are you envisaging?
Well, let me answer this question. If you have looked at our academic criteria, you see we have 3 main parts. CLAT is one portion, but we also put a lot of weightage on past academic performance, that 10 and 10+2 scores. Okay, and then the third component is personal interview. So therefore, if you look at some baseline attributes of a desired candidate, so basically we are looking for a candidate with reasonably good analytical and problem solving skill, Then in personal interview, we look forward to the person's, to the individual's overall communication skill. These are our awareness of the general environment, and of course, past academics.
What percentage weightage is given to each of these things for the CLAT score, the PI, and the academics?
It's already there, posted on our site. So for
the sake of
it is 40%. CLAT score is 45%, and rest is personal interview.
Okay, that's wonderful. 15% is personal interview in that sense. So quite a bit of it on academics. One question, this is for you, Professor Kaustav, is last time a student is asking Harshita Khanna. She has written IPM. She's got 160 and did not get a call for the IP session. She is interested in an IIM. She's asking, is it really that difficult to get into an IIM because she is a aspirant of getting into an IIM Rohtak? How difficult is it for them to get into an IIM Rohtak?
One thing we must admit that for any of our program, we receive huge number of applications. Okay, and basically the written score, the written component is used. Basically, it's a matter of deselection, because then we call the qualified shortlisted candidates for interviews. So I think, in fact, this point came up when just some time ago, Professor Sharma was explaining that multiple opportunities. So when there are more such exams, etc., are in place, then one can always try for other avenues. So I think if the age limit permits of the particular candidate, she can again write some of these exams and she can try again, because we have some age limit every year. So if she is within that, I think she can try.
One very specific question for IPL Gurgaon again is because it's a non-residential program, at least for the first 2 years. I don't know whether post you having your own campus, it becomes residential. Will the institute help in getting the PGs and the places for students to stay?
Okay, let me first make it very clear that the IPL program is going to be a non-residential program.
Forever. At least for the next 5 years, 10 years, at least to come.
It's a completely non-residential program. In fact, the reason behind choosing the site at Gurgaon was that it's a very well-connected region, and then people from so many different places for so many different type of communities, work purposes, job purposes, etc. They all stay. So there are a lot of residential facilities, otherwise available. And many people are interconnected also. So I think finding accommodation will not at all be any problem, particularly where our campuses are going to be located. Both the transit campus for the time being, that's also in the heart of Gurgaon, as well as our the permanent campus that's going to come up at Sector 42. So accommodation is not going to be.
But I'm sorry to ask this again. Will the IIM officials and the administration help also in that, or is it that the student has to take care of himself or herself?
As of now, the students have to take a call on it.
But the IPM is a completely residential program, right? The 5-year.
The IPM is a residential program. Yes.
Right.
Because the last 2 years they culminate into our full-time MBA program.
Correct.
That's the reason.
So one question which is coming up again is, of course, Professor Dheeraj Sharma has asked and has answered, and you have also answered, and Dr. Bima Mandal has answered. But for a lot of students asking this, because it's a new program, especially the law program, what kind of a, when you say you have very good faculty members coming up, is there any, what kind of a, faculty members one can assume or assure of when somebody is comparing the IPL program with some of the NLUs, because these NLUs will have a lot of faculty members over so many years. Have you already recruited some top legal faculty members?
Let me give an overview, and then probably Professor Nima and Professor Rashini, they can supplement, because they can delve into more details. So in our pool, we have legal experts who are field practitioners. We will also have some of the management experts, because one question came up that how is this program is going to be different from NLU.
Correct.
Must admit that IIMs are the pioneers in management education. We are the leaders in management education, and the purpose of our floating out this program, rolling out this program is we want a management legal experts. So the understanding of management discipline is as important as the legal fraternity in our program. Therefore, we want to keep a judicious mix or combination of management experts, and some of them from India, even some of them are from abroad also, because even in our IPM program, uh, on an average, they do 7 courses, 7 to 8 courses in a particular academic term, and as many as 6 to 7 are taught by foreign faculty members of very reputed foreign universities. They are of QS ranking, and so we'll also like to maintain the similar combination in this program also. The rest, maybe if you want to add something.
Yes, we are providing best faculties from India as well as from the outer world. So we have a faculty from top-notch universities in UK. We have top-notch faculty from Canada also. So they can provide a blend of foreign education to our students, right? So, and we are talking about the people from the legal background. So we have experts from different corporate worlds. They have a great experience. They have great expertise in the legal education, legal arbitration, right? Corporate governance, legal methods. So they can deliver their expertise. They can deliver their knowledge or disciplinary knowledge to the students also, right? So in that way, student can learn business perspective as well as legal, education from the blend of the faculty that we have in the country.
Right, Dr. Ashmi, that's excellent. One question which is coming up, in fact, that is again to you, Professor Kaustav Ghosh, is why is that IP MAT of Rohtak immediately after the board exams of 12th? Why don't you give them a little more time? Like, for example, not that you should compare, but IPM Rohtak, IP MAT of Indore has got postponed to July 16th, whereas, your IP MAT Rohtak is very, just about a week after the board exams. Is there any time where you can give the students some time to prepare?
One thing is, of course, we are also committed to start our academic programs on time. Because it's a culmination program where at the end of 3 years, they have to join the full-time MBA program. So things need to be aligned. So that's number one. And we have to complete minimum academic credit in each particular academic term, because it's going to produce the degree program at the end of 3 years as well as at the end of the the full 5 years integrated program. So we have to take particular interest. We have to take care of that. Second thing is, it's the preparation is more of ongoing. We expect any candidate with reasonable understanding of verbal proficiency, quantitative aptitude, and some logical reasoning. That's it. So I think preparation is not just those 15 days or 1 month, fixed period, but it's an ongoing process. And the person who have been in touch, who have planned, I'm sure most of the candidates do plan in advance. So they are not really going to wait for those, 15 days or 2, 3, or 4 weeks time, but rather they take it as a continuous basis. So I think.
Right. Thank you. There's one question which has come, and I'm going to answer it on behalf of Rohtak itself. The IPL program will be taught in Gurgaon, Ishan Singh, and the IPM program, the IPM is the integrated program in management, will be taught at IIM Rohtak's campus. Just
you are absolutely right.
Correct. One question again is coming up, Professor, is of course, nobody knows what's going to happen with the second wave coming up. Is there a chance that once again the IP MAT exam can get postponed? And I know too early days yet, but this is something which is always there with the students and the parents also. They keep asking us these questions.
See, these directives or guidelines we receive at only in the NEEC hour. So so far, for the time being, we are keeping our fingers crossed that we'll have a central-based exam. As we do normally, So we look forward, I think, and in case there is any such notification or any change in our plan, at least we will try to reach out to candidates in Poland.
Right. Last year, there was a serious issue with IPMAT of Rohtak when it was conducted, which was conducted at home instead of at any center kind of things. And there were a lot of flack, which IPM Rohtak had gotten, actually. I'm sure you know that, as well as a lot of parents did complain to us saying that, why are we not talking to you? I really, really believe that one of the pioneering institutes like IIM Rohtak will give equal chance to every student in that sense. That's my expectation. One question to both Dr. Ashwini and Dr. Rima is Smriti Kulkarni is asking again and again, sir, what job opportunities and in which kind of fields can we expect to get after the IPL program after 5 years?
There are numerous job opportunities after this 5-year integrated program. A student can see themselves as a corporate lawyer, as a audit lawyer, and there are numerous opportunities in corporate also. Not only in private corporate, we have public corporate like BHEL, HPCL, IOCL, we have GAIL India Limited, we have SAIL. So they need people who are expertise in management as well as in legal education, because they yearly they dealt with numerous cases, numerous issues. So student, if a student have a knowledge of business as well as legal education, so they can easily solve their problems with their expertise, with their skill that they have, right, during this program.
To add on what Professor Sachin is trying to say, that there is an equal opportunity in public as well as private enterprises. In fact, I can understand that a lot of reputed global consultancy houses also have a legal cell, legal wing, consultancy legal wing. That's another opportunity. And then, 5 years is a pretty long time. So I'm sure some more new opportunities can also come up by the time they complete the program.
Absolutely.
Definitely a scope in both private and public enterprises, including consultancy houses, but I'm sure more new opportunities will come up by the time they graduate.
Reverting once again to IPM program, Professor Ghosh, in fact, a question student is asking, do the corporates differentiate between the IPM MBA, that is IPM which gets in, people who come through the IPM route versus people who directly go through the CAT route?
There is no point, because once they join the MBA program, they all get merged in one single group, and they all appear in the process together.
Absolutely.
There is no such thing to difference.
One question Aryan is asking, why are the fees of IPM and IPL so high?
Well, it's an IIM, In fact, if you look at our 2-year postgraduate program fees, if you compare vis-a-vis this 5-year program, it's commensurate, actually. It's not much of a- Second thing, which Professor Sharma also emphasized about our quality education and sourcing faculty from some of the top-notch foreign universities also. They are expensive. They are expensive faculty. Third option is reason is we provide huge access and we use them as part of our coursework. Lot of Harvard and Ivy material, and we are liable to pay for it. The institute pays for it, and that also they charge heavily. So all these things, plus in addition, coming specifically to IPL, like they can also talk about it. There are sessions like clinical seminars, then moot courts, then business simulations, so on and so forth. And all these the institute will facilitate, but the institute has to pay out to get this kind of resources. So these all get into.
Right, absolutely. Are there foreign exchange options for the IPM programs?
Specifically, we do not have a foreign exchange program. However, we encourage our students to have industry interaction with foreign dignitaries. Also, we invite foreign faculties to give specific courses, and we guest lectures, and also where they can have a one-to-one discussion with the foreign faculty. But specifically talking about foreign exchange, so at this point of time, we do not have.
One reiteration of this question: when we have this IPM program, we know that after 3 years, students can, take the BBA and go away if they don't want to continue with their MBA. Will the similar thing happen for BBA LLB kind of thing program also?
No, so this is the requirement of the BCI guidelines is that we cannot have an exit option. So after they complete the BBA for the first 3 years, they have to compulsorily take up the LLB program for the next 2 years.
So we are not allowed by the bar council.
Okay. Radhika is asking, what is the procedure to get into IIM Rohtak? Radhika, if you want to get into IIM Rohtak for the IPM program, it is through their IP MAT exam. If you are thinking of the law program, it is through the CLAT exam itself, which is conducted by the NLUs. Just okay. How can people who apply for resume backup later college? What is the highest CTC offered? Shivansh, you can check some of these things on placements on the website. I'm not going to ask those questions to the professors, but I'm really, really happy to have 3 of you, and of course, Professor Sharma. I would like to thank Gunit, who has been, arranging this kind of a program, Professor Ghosh, Professor Ashwini, and Professor Rima. Thank you very much for being with us and answering very patiently all the questions that have come in. More than 350 students have heard this. We will also put this up on YouTube and make sure that it's available for all the students of Career Launcher on their aspiration portal, which is their student portal that we have. If there are questions, gentlemen and lady, we will get back to you too through the right channel so that students can get their questions and worries answered. Thank you very, very much, and have a wonderful Sunday for all of you.
So thank you once again, and on behalf of IIM Rohtak team for providing us this opportunity, and we wish all the best to all prospective candidates who are looking forward to any of these 2 programs at IIM Rohtak. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.